How will humans travel to Mars? Mars, 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 that's all anyone's been talking about lately. Humans have always had a strong desire for exploration and adventure. From the earliest to the oldest, they become unstoppable when they set their minds to something. We have traversed continents, sailed ships, flown airplanes, and even launched rockets throughout history to discover new lands and stretch the boundaries of what is possible. And until this point, no obstacle has been insurmountable. However, there is one adventure we have yet to truly undertake, and it's a big one, a trip to Mars. Can you imagine being a member of the crew that lands on Mars and takes the first steps on its surface? That would be insane. You may have heard of The Expanse and other shows that have acquired an enormous fan base in recent years. Humans have colonized Earth, Mars, and the asteroid belt in this future setting. In a universe full of danger, they explore new worlds, unearth conspiracies, and fight for survival. Even though we are not yet capable of interstellar travel, a glimpse of what the future of space exploration may hold motivates us to continue. Can you envision constructing a settlement and expanding to Mars? It would be amazing to be a part of that voyage and create history. On our journey to the fourth planet from the Sun, who knows what we may discover? Let's determine together what this excursion would entail. Earlier missions. What have we sent to Mars thus far? Mars is an intriguing planet covered in dust with a very scant atmosphere. Mars, despite its severe conditions, is a dynamic planet with seasons, polar ice caps, canyons, and extinct volcanoes, all of which we have on Earth. Even more thrilling to explore is the fact that scientists have discovered evidence that Mars was even more active in the past, making it the most explored planet to date. We have sent a variety of autonomous explorers to Mars in an effort to learn more about the planet. Perseverance, the most advanced of these robots, has just landed on Mars in February of 2021. It is the largest rover ever sent to another planet and has the capability to collect soil and geological samples. In addition to Perseverance, there is also a helicopter named Ingenuity. On Mars, the Perseverance is not the only spacecraft. There are actually quite a few. China even recently became the second nation to successfully deploy a rover on Mars. There are also orbiters that study Mars by flying around it and capturing images, such as the United Arab Emirates HOPE mission and a few others. The HOPE probe is assisting in the complete mapping of Mars. Look it over. This exploration has taught scientists a great deal about the history of Mars. Numerous pieces of evidence indicate that the past climate was significantly warmer, humid, and had a denser atmosphere. Do you believe that studying Mars will improve our understanding of Earth and how it works into the greater scheme of our solar system? How will we arrive? Artemis missions. To reach Mars, we must first establish a permanent station on the Moon. Why? However, traveling from the Moon to Mars is much simpler than traveling directly from Earth to Mars. Earth's gravity and dense atmosphere make it difficult to simultaneously launch objects into space. Living on Earth is quite pleasant, but it makes space travel difficult. On the Moon, however, these issues do not exist. Living on the Moon will be difficult, but if we can make it work, it would be the ideal location from which to send expeditions to other planets. The long-term objective of the NASA Artemis program is to use the Moon as a spaceport and gateway to the solar system. The Artemis program's missions 4 through 10 will concentrate on learning how to live on the Moon. We will find methods to utilize existing resources, such as rocks and metals, to construct new infrastructure. We will also look for water and oxygen. NASA and its collaborators will continue exploring Mars with robots in the interim. They will also use a drone named Ingenuity to fly around Mars and capture photographs. The next major endeavor for NASA is to construct a space station that orbits Mars. The space station will not only be a stopover for trips to Mars, but also a place where astronauts can reside for extended periods. One of the objectives of investigating Mars is to bring back soil and rock samples. This will signify the end of one-way trips to Mars and further our understanding of the red planet. NASA never fails to come up with the best plans to realize humanity's wildest goals. They are currently preparing for multiple missions and working on multiple missions. The Artemis 10 mission, which will deliver provisions to the Moon in preparation for the Mars mission, will be the first significant step. The subsequent Artemis 11 mission will deliver additional cargo to the Moon. Each mission will include a landing on the Moon's surface. The true excitement, however, commences with Artemis 12. This mission will transport the Mars one-manned lander to the Gateway Station near the Moon, where a crew of 4 will remain for 134 days. NASA intends to use Gateway as the launching site for human missions to Mars. The astronauts will voyage to Mars aboard a special vessel carrying the Mars One human lander. A pressurized vehicle will serve as their residence for 30 days on Mars. This vehicle will also serve as their planet-exploring rover. Even in the reduced gravity of Mars, it takes time to adjust to space travel, particularly after spending extended periods in zero-gravity environments. Who knows what incredible discoveries the astronauts will make during their Mars mission? We cannot wait to learn. Space travel. So how do you believe we would transport humans from Earth to Mars? To accomplish this, they are creating a transit habitat that will use a combination of chemical and electric propulsion stages to power the voyage. This habitat will be able to sustain a crew of 4 individuals and transport them to and from Mars. Once they reach Mars, landing is somewhat difficult. The most recent Tenacity rover landed using a special capsule similar to those used by humans to return to Earth from space. The capsule was equipped with a massive parachute to slow its descent, but because the atmosphere on Mars is too thin for the parachute to provide a gentle landing, the rover had to use a jetpack with rockets to slow down. 2 crew members will remain in orbit for the duration of the mission, while the other 2 will return to Earth. Did you know there are 2 possible routes to Mars? A brief stay mission, which lasts 30 days on Mars, but requires a 403-day return journey through deep space, is one option. In order to reach Mars in only 217 days, the spacecraft will use a gravitational lift around Venus. The alternative route to Mars is a long-term mission. It takes 210 days to reach Mars via a direct route. The mission lasts for a staggering 496 days, necessitating extensive planning and preparation prior to deployment. The return journey is then reduced to 210 days due to an ideal transfer window. Obviously, our current technology limits our capacity to make these voyages faster and more comfortable. However, NASA is constantly striving to improve propulsion systems and technology, so future trips to Mars may be faster and more comfortable. Future space vessels. NASA and DARPA are collaborating to develop an extremely cool spacecraft propelled by a nuclear thermal rocket engine. DRACO is the acronym for the demonstration rocket for Agile CIS lunar operations. This spacecraft will be able to travel faster, transport more cargo, traverse greater distances, and maneuver through space with much greater ease than any other vehicle we've ever used. This new engine will increase the science payload capacity and provide more power for instrumentation and communication, which is a significant advantage. A fission reactor is used to generate high temperatures, which are then used to heat a liquid propellant, which is then used to propel the spacecraft. This new nuclear engine will be 3 to 5 times more efficient than conventional rocket engines, meaning it will take significantly less time to reach destinations such as Mars. Instead of 8 months, it might only take 45 days. In less than 5 years, the DRACO project will be operational. By 2027, it will be integrated with an experimental spacecraft and will help establish a space transportation capability for an Earth-Moon economy. And who knows, perhaps within the next decade, astronauts will be able to travel to Mars on a nuclear-powered spacecraft. Certainly, there could be some setbacks along the path, but humans are optimistic and thrive on adversity. We refuse to remain stationary for too long, and traveling to Mars is merely the next step on our interstellar voyage. Recap, outro, and conclusion. Our voyage to Mars is arduous, but humanity has never shied away from a challenge. NASA's Artemis program is diligently working to establish a lunar outpost that will serve as a gateway to the remainder of the solar system. The journey to Mars will entail a transit habitat, a specialized spacecraft powered by a combination of chemical and electric propulsion stages. The recent successful arrival of the Perseverance rover on Mars demonstrates that landing on Mars is feasible, despite its difficulty. The development of the nuclear thermal rocket engine and the demonstration rocket for agile CIS lunar operations bodes well for the future of space exploration. We are eager to see what discoveries await us on our journey to Mars, and we trust you are as well. So keep up to date on this exciting project, give our video a thumbs up, and subscribe for more space exploration content.